Coach, you had a chance to bring it within 10 there in the second half. You guys were battling back, but then they go on that 10-0 run. Just what did you see over that stretch to where they were able to break that game open?
You know, when you sit in this chair and you come and play at a place like this, when they're going through what they're going through, their transition, so to speak, with topping or not topping, I'm really grateful for just Jesus Christ is my Lord and Savior, and the Baylor family had a really, really, really difficult week, Grant being part of that. And to Grant's credit, the way in which he treated me and the way in which he came to me and said some really, really incredible things is very kind to him and to our staff, because some of our staff worked with him for a long time. And so we really, really, really understood and knew that. And I said this to the TV guys, and they were like I'm like, JT Toppin is great. He's an All-American, and when games are tough and you need to get a bucket, that's awesome. But at the end of the day, when you have a system like Grant has, and you can just throw in some ancillary people, and you could two-head monster it, 13-9, and then they do the same thing, but they're not him. You're not going to throw it to him to maybe get the game-winning bucket, or you need some buckets down the road. But those ancillary people just kept on doing it. And when you can make threes, I shot 1,200 threes last year at the University of North Florida. So when you can shoot threes at that level with those kind of talent, it's really, really, really hard. And they're the best team in the league. They don't allow you to get assists. We had 8 assists on 26 baskets and only 6 turnovers. And so we've got to be better, right? And we missed some things. We cut it to 10 with 9 to go, and we had an opportunity, but we could never get over the hump. And to their credit, a well-coached team, they got it up, right? No score pressure. Well, we cut it back to 16. He called timeout. 5 minutes to go, right? Score pressure. Let's get it to single digits by 3:30-ish. Next thing you know, score pressure. And we scored 2 points in the last 5 minutes. So you got to give them credit, right, for amping up what they were doing. And obviously, we just didn't execute the way we needed to in order to continue to do what we had done. So super, super proud of the way we fought. But we got crushed on the glass. We gave up almost 50% from 3. And you can't win like that. You just can't. And what we did against Baylor from the 3 was night and day, right? And so to these guys' credit, they were locked and loaded. 8 threes in the first half came from their best shooters. If somebody else is making them, you're like, oh, water's going to find its level. But when the best shooters are making them,
you look at that as defensive effort thing, just execution thing, just trying to get those guys locked down when they were rebounding the way they were, making the threes the way they were.
Yeah, it's a combination. I think 2 of the first ones were off offensive rebound kickouts, if I'm not mistaken. But then they just shared the sugar. They got downhill. They created 2 on the ball. They got an advantage. They made a crackdown. They were able to throw the ball out and get open threes on the backside, which is what we like to do too. So to their guys' credit, they might have turned down one that was okay, and then they got to the next one, created the next advantage, and then boom, sprayed it, and were able to knock them down. But there were a couple offensive rebound. We call that K-State spacing. When you get an offensive rebound and then you spray it out for a 3, it's the best 3 in the world because it's the most practiced 3. So if you shoot on the gun, the ball's always coming from the rim. When you shoot with your girlfriend, the ball's always coming from the rim, right? And so, it's the best shot in basketball. It's always been, and it always will be. So offensive rebound, kick-out threes hurt us early, too.
Coach, how big an impact was number 9, Luke Bamboye,
Yes,
against your team today?
They had 8 blocks, and I think he had 3 of them. And when you have 8 blocks, it just demoralizes a couple things we tried to do in the first half and then part of the run we had in the second half. I can see some of them. Even a transition, we got a couple transition ones blocked as well, too. And when you have a guy like him that has the length and athleticism as him, and then you bring in 13 along with them, which are they're like twins, right? A double-head monster, right? And so to their credit, they were really active. They're always active, but they were really active. This team, and I'm going to say this the right way, this team was not concerned that JT wasn't playing. They were playing like JT's not playing. So what's next? Life's 10% what happens and 90% how you react. So he ain't playing. So what are we going to do? 130, we're tipping it. And this team came out with that kind of a mindset to their credit. And we weren't able to, kind of weather that.
Coach, PJ had 17 points to finish the game, but he never really got into a consistent
Sheesh.
flow. What did Tech's guard play really do to help stop him?
Whether you like this answer or not, I'm going to have to give it to you because I'm going to tell you how I feel in my heart. Today, I think you found out that PJ Haggerty, when he gets cut, he bleeds too. He's a regular human being. He had a very tough day for PJ Haggerty because he is usually, 50 to 52%, make a three, knock down some free throws, and he's got somewhere between 20 and 25. On good nights, he gets 35, right? And today, on 17 shots, he gets 17 points. He's human. He's human. And did they do something to him? Were they more physical with him? Did they try to run at him? Can you imagine all the stuff? 3 years in a row averaging plus 20. You imagine all the things that he's seen? And so, to their credit, they play tough. They play hard. But he's a regular human being, and he just had a bad day. So it's a double deal, right?
What have you seen in this group over the last over the last few days? Because it happened on Sunday. You guys turn around and play Tuesday immediately. Just now that you've had a little bit more time, how have you seen these kids react?
Yeah, Wednesday was great because it was a complete day off for everybody, staff, players, everybody. And so Thursday we came back in. And remember, we're not going to change. We're just going to be a little different, right? And there's something that's said to be that, right? And so this group came in. They prepared. They did what they needed to do. There was no sulking. There was no, it's my time. Because right now this can become an individual deal. But the problem is marketability always comes into play. And so the things you do on the floor are always going to be on video. So the way in which you grow and the way in which people see you, those that have eligibility left, those that want to go on and do something else somewhere else, all that stuff is going to matter. And so they're very, very, very understanding of that. And we're coaching them just like we would coach them if Coach Tang was here. And so to their credit, they haven't missed a beat in that sense. Now they love Coach. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying from a basketball standpoint, they haven't missed a beat. And they've been really good for us. They've been really, really responsive to me because I'm different. I'm an odd person. I got a lot of odd things about me. But the one thing I've always been is I've had a disciplined commitment to consistency. And this is the Coach Drew said it in his quote the other night. And I am who I am. I'm going to do what I do and I'm going to be who I am. And so to these guys' credit, they've embraced it.
Now that you're sitting in that chair right now, just how do you go about preparing them, getting them past this loss? And just now, do you change anything now that you're the head man, or just kind of the louder voice right now?
Yeah, I don't know about louder voice. Coach was really good to let me do that. But like I said, we're gonna change, but we're not gonna change. We're gonna be different. We do so many good things. We had so many good plays today. We had so many good opportunities today. There was so much good. We just couldn't finish. We just couldn't get to that point, right? And so I've been in this chair for a long, long time, right? And the one thing you can't do is you can't let one lead to two. So during that last time out, that's exactly what we told them. Okay, we can't let one lead to two. In the first half, I told them it's 20. It's getting ready to go to 30. And then after that, look out, right? We want to help our net. Right? We want to help our net. And to our guys' credit, they scored the last basket. We won the coin toss, right? So we got the kick. We got the kickoff on the second half, and we scored again. And next thing you know, we're starting to flow a little bit. So sitting in this chair is not very hard for me. I've done it a long, long time, and we've beaten high majors. So it isn't like we haven't played against these kind of deals. But usually when I was sitting in that seat, I'd get $100,000. So I'll see what Grant is going to do for the coffer, if he's going to help us out a little bit.
Anything else?
You have a great hat, by the way. I love that. Yeah, that's nice.
Thank you, guys.
By the way, I always wondered why Coach drank Smart Water. And I said, and I went in the locker room and we had it. And I was like, oh, okay. Yeah. Somebody's paying your bills. You better be drinking it, right?